and final book that I read for September was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. So for those of you who haven't heard of Fourth Wing, it is pretty much like a phenomenon right now. It went viral, I think, on TikTok, and I want to say that that's how I originally saw it. It's a fantasy book. It's an adult fantasy book, I should say. It centers around Violet Sorrengail, who is accepted into the Dragon Riders Quadrant at her school, and which has a really high mortality rate. As you can see, fly or die. This book centers around Violet, who is the daughter of a famous general. She's pretty hardcore, and Violet was originally set to be a scribe, which are the historians of the group. So there's different quadrants. There's the scribes, which are the historians. There's the healers, which are the doctors. Not to be confused with the menders, I think they were called, which are the people who actually can do magic as opposed to the non-magic healers. There's the infantry, which is exactly what it sounds like, and then there's the dragon riders, which is Violet's quadrant. She gets accepted into and has the highest mortality rate. She gets put in there because her mom is a general and a famous dragon rider, and her sister and brother both were dragon riders. Her father was a scribe, though, so she can relate a little more to him, and that's originally her path until her mom sort of arranges it so she's directed into the Dragon Rider School. First day, a bunch of people get eliminated just right off the bat during this thing called the parapet walk, which is where they have to cross this, I believe it says it's 18 inches, like a stone parapet that's 200 feet in the air during a rainstorm, and it's windy, and basically can slip and die. And that's like their first test, and all of the little obstacles through their first year, which I believe there was 3 years, all the obstacles throughout the schooling are meant to test like things that are related to dragon riding. So in this case, the parapet is sort of like a test of their dexterity and balance, and if you fall off of this thing, clearly riding a dragon's going to be challenging for you. This was an amazing book. It's one of my new favorites, I would say. I don't really ever read fantasy books. Something about this just was really easy to read, to remember things. Normally fantasy has, since it's world building normally from the ground up, so to be able to remember everything, I was a little concerned about that, learning new places and names. And this one, it was actually very easy. It came naturally. I didn't have to sit there and struggle to remember anything. Pronunciation, that's a whole different story. I don't know if half the things in here, the names, are ones that I would pronounce right, or things that I pronounced right. I could be completely way off. Terran, I think, was the dragon's, her dragon's name. This was an awesome book. This was by far my favorite of all those ones that I just named. This has everything. It kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones in a way. Probably, the dragons and just sort of the feel for it. I don't know if it's quite, I didn't read Game of Thrones, that series, so I can't see how similar it is. Definitely know that I thought this was phenomenal. The second book in the trilogy, not the trilogy, what am I talking about? The second book, there's supposed to be 5 books, I believe, Rebecca Yarros said, and I believe the second book's supposed to come out next month, and I want to say November 14th is the release date. I got tickets with my fiance to go meet the author and have her sign our books. This is the first edition, which is kind of rare now, I believe. It has the sprayed edges and everything. I'd say that about concludes my September wrap-up, so if you want to go ahead and give me a like and subscribe, maybe make a guess as to what my costume is for Halloween. For this video, I'm doing one for each video this month out of my 4 costumes. Sawyer was my costume from last week's video from the Demon Knight Blood Key, in case anyone didn't know. Here's like a little image, so you can see what scene that was from. That was from the pilot, his outfit in the pilot. Lost was one of my all-time favorite TV shows. Thought that'd be kind of a cool one, so I will catch you guys next time. I'm gonna probably do another video to do a walkthrough of the man cave, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. Thanks for coming to check out my reads this month. If you want to check in next week on Friday at 2 o'clock, I should have another video up. Maybe do a walkthrough of the man cave. I got everything set up back there, so the only thing missing I need to do is some LED lights. I will get that going, and then I will see you guys next week.